Hey, what's up, man? My name is Moose from the Metal Moose Radio Show in Oklahoma City. It's actually not a radio show per se, it's a podcast. I have been making this podcast since 2014, and I've discovered that you can make videos and put them on YouTube, and so I've been trying to do that a little bit more. And the fact of the matter is that I'm terrible with technology because I'm not a teenager. So I know the whole YouTube thing's been going on for years, and there are a bunch of people making a ton of money out there making videos. And so I wanted to tell you a couple things and ask you a couple questions. Number one, if you're watching the videos on YouTube, if you like them, let me know. I'd love. It's a big deal to me that I think that you guys should be involved in the show and write emails. Email me, moose@themetalmoose.com, or text in on the phone number. We have a Google number, which means that we're not tracking you. We're not going to sign you up for any mailing list or anything like that. I love to talk to everybody that listens to the show. The number is 424-666-7356. I want to tell you guys a little bit about what we do. Now, listen, there are a lot of people doing this now. And that is making radio shows or podcasts about unsigned and independent bands. People were doing it when I started, but the Metal Moose Show kind of took off, got really popular. We were on 100 radio stations within a year's time. I've cut it down to about 50 now because it was just too much all over the place. I've toyed around with the idea of dropping all the stations. But there are so many stations out there that we're number one on 102.7 WSNR. We're also doing really well on Radio Metal Storm up in New Brunswick in Canada and Maine. Boston Rocks Radio. We're doing well on some of these stations at Reach Down Radio as well. We're doing good, so I don't want to yank the program from stations where it's doing good. Indie Rage Radio, they do a great job out there promoting the show. So the reason why I've toyed around with it is because I don't want to saturate everywhere with the show. And also, I honestly thought that when I started doing this, money was not an issue to me. I didn't start doing this to make money, but I did think that if there was a way that I could make money doing this, it'd be better for the show. I could buy better equipment. I could put on more concerts. I could have more people get involved because what I want is I would really like it if there was a bunch of people doing this. If I had the money to pay employees to run the Moose as a company, I would love to do that. So I've run into a lot of people who are angry with me because because we ask for donations. People who are angry because we make T-shirts and we sell them. People that were angry that I was writing companies to try to get sponsorships. And it really bothered me because this wasn't about me. It wasn't about making money myself. It was about being able to turn what I started here into a business and to be able to employ people and in the bigger scope of things to be able to help bands go into the studio, help bands go on the road. When a band comes through town, to be able to have the money to put them in a hotel. It was things like that. It wasn't about becoming rich. We haven't made any money doing this. And I think that that's such a big misconception. I've been really, really blessed with people who have made us professional-looking logos. I've been blessed with professional recording equipment. I have a broadcasting degree, so I know what I'm doing in the radio, and I have fun doing it. It's what I love doing. I get to escape, and I love metal and hard rock music. And I was in a band, so I understand where these bands have been and what they're going through when they're out there, when they're on the road, when they're playing, all that stuff. And there was nobody playing, my band's music on the radio. Internet radio wasn't around. So I wanted to be able to do something for the bands. Now, I'm based in Oklahoma City, but it's not all Oklahoma City bands. Matter of fact, there's very, very few of them. We've played just about every damn band that's in the city, in the state. If they send the music in, we'll play it. But it's not a local show. It is a worldwide show. We play bands from all over the entire globe. And we have companies like Asher Media and Full Blast and Rock and Growl and Future PR and Rage PR and all of these companies that send us these bands. as well as taking the time to get out there and find the bands on our own. I mean, I send out our little flyer that says, "Hey, we'd love to play your band on the Metal Moose Show" all the time. Every day I do that. I constantly am looking for bands, and I see these things, and it kind of, I do this about it a little bit. Exposure doesn't pay the bills. You're right, man, and that's why. When bands ask me what do I think about their music, I'm like, it doesn't matter what I think. And my goal in doing what I do is to get your band heard by other people, and so other people can go buy your CDs. There are other people who got mad at me because I would ask bands to send me shirts, and they're like, why would you do that? The bands need the shirts to make money. I understand that, but do you know what I do with the shirts? What I'll do is I'll throw it on, I'll take a picture, and then I'll post it all over the place, and I'll be like, the Moose loves this band, and then I give the shirts away at Moosefest concerts. So I'm not taking the shirts and keeping them. I'm taking them, I'm making a little promotional picture for you, and then I'm giving it away to somebody. So somebody in a whole other state, a whole other country is walking around with your shirt on. There's a whole misconception about this deal that I'm doing it for money, that I'm stealing money from people. That's garbage. I don't steal money from anybody. I don't take shirts. I've bought thousands of dollars in shirts. It has as Sullen. Here they are, right here. I've spent like my house payment on Sullen shirts. I'd kill if they would send me free shirts, but they won't. But I'm doing this for you guys. It's also another big misconception, like I said, that we're a company. We're not. There's a lot of people that are involved in this, Teresa Bond and Valerie Andre, and even Mary, who's taking a vacation from the show. I don't know if she'll ever come back, but she might not, because she spent, a good year and a half with us, and but she's busy with school and relationships and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of people that get involved in doing this with me, so it's not just me. That's why I say us. Becca June, who does my website, and she's amazing. She's an author, and she's going to college, she's got kids and all that stuff, and she's busy as hell, but she takes time to take care of us. There's a lot of people out there that do stuff for us, and I appreciate it greatly. And I tell people all the time, I'll just write them and say, hey, you want to get involved? Do you want to go look for bands? Do you want to try to sell ad space? And that's something else. Jennifer Calhoun down in Houston, she's working on trying to find bands and people who want to advertise on the show. And that's something else I really want to talk about is, so here's the deal. The radio show gets heard by about 100,000 people every week because we're on a couple FM stations. So that's a big deal. It goes out to a ton of people. And we want to support independent businesses as well. It's not just independent musicians. It's independent. You get a business, you want to sell t-shirts. We're going to work with Blood Red Prints here pretty soon. And that is a t-shirt company owned by the guys in Final Drive. We're working on a deal with them, hopefully to get some bands out there, some cheaper shirts. And I say cheaper, that's the wrong way to put it. A good value on awesome shirts. Blood Red was the very first company to print Metal Moose t-shirts. We want to be able to work with companies. And listen, I really want to explain this to everybody that owns a company that is maybe considering doing something with the Moose or internet radio. It's not always about money. Listen, we all need money to survive. We got to pay the bills. I get it. But sometimes it's just about what can you offer the listeners, and sometimes it's one of those kind of deals where we say, hey, talk to this company and tell them you heard it on the Moose, one of those kind of a deals, and then we also want to do some paid packages. If you want to pay to be heard, we need that, man. We need the money to do what we do. Now, listen, do we have to have it to continue? No, we don't. Do we need it to get bigger than we are? Yes. To do more things, to have more concerts, to be able to make more shirts, to make more merchandise, to be able to help the bands pay for hotels, get into the studios. That's where the money goes. It's not about putting it in our pockets. So whenever you decide you want to go ahead and advertise with the Moose, realize that that's going towards the show. It's the same way when somebody comes into your business and buys your product. It goes back into the business before it does anything else. I want to make this a deal where we can put people to work, where we can be a ray of hope out there to bands that don't have any hope. We want to be the light at the end of the tunnel for some of those bands out there. And I hope that you want to get involved in that. Listen, it's such a big deal that everybody understand that this is not money-making scheme. This is not a scam. This isn't whatever it is out there people want to say it is. This is a community of people that are coming together that want to help bands. That's what it is. It's not about me getting rich, because I promise you I wouldn't get rich. I mean, I'd have to like get on a Howard Stern type radio stuff, and that's not going to happen. But what I do have is a product that a lot of people listen to. You know, we've got 7,000 people on the Metal Moose podcast page. We got 5,000 people on the Moose Crew page. Now another 5,000 on my page. 2,500 on Twitter. I mean, we've got a massive amount of people that are involved in what we do. And they want to support you just like they support the bands. And whenever you're a business and you advertise on the Moose, that tells the bands that company cares about what we do. And that's a big deal, man. It's a huge deal when you take the time to support a band and what they're doing. Well, listen, man, this is, 11 minutes long. My name is Moose, Oklahoma City. This is my little studio. This is where I do the radio show, the podcast. It's at www.themetalmoose.com. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, all of that stuff, man. We're there because we want to be the network that helps people make dreams come true. That's what I want to do, is make dreams come true for bands out there that are trying really hard to make it in a nasty business. So listen, man, thanks so much for watching. And if you want to advertise, make sure and just email me, moose@themetalmoose.com. If you have some ideas, you want to throw some ideas out there on how we could work a deal for bands or work a deal between us. Hey, like Zion Vape in Yukon, Oklahoma, they give me vape. I talk about them on the show. It's as simple as that. It's not making me any money. It's saving me a little bit of money from buying vape. But here's the deal. Shane Riggle and the people that own that company, they're good people. And I want to help good people out. So I'm going to vape. I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to hope people go buy their stuff because I talk about them. And we can work things out like that. It's not all about money, man. I need people to understand that. Listen, guys, thanks so much once again for watching it. I hope you listen to the show. I hope you like it. My name is Moose. Have a good night, good day, whatever it is. One of those things. See ya.